The first one is thoughts on using audio or even video podcasts that may not be generated via AI for local SEO. How would one integrate that, and on what platforms? Would it help brand authority and hence ranking? Probably more data equals better typically, as long as it's accurate data. And podcasts can be one of those. Podcasts are also quite authoritative, usually like the podcast platforms are, and some of the podcast syndication apps or you know services out there are pretty good too at being able to distribute podcast recordings to various platforms, and a lot of those have high. Like think of SoundCloud alone is a very powerful asset if you set it up for a local business, and then you push some content into it, some audio recordings. Do an on-page optimization for each individual recording, plus the overall kind of channel or whatever they call it in SoundCloud. All of that stuff is powerful, and those can be significant branded assets. So yeah, podcasts are. I think it's a great idea. And now with the AI stuff, it's not difficult. I know Adam, my partner's pointed out a few different apps that will turn web pages into podcasts or YouTube videos into podcasts and things like that. And so I think it would be worth testing. I've not done any testing with it specifically myself. I have used audio files in the past and done things with SoundCloud specifically. Another one is I think is it Buzzsprout or something like that that does podcast. There's another platform. I think it's Buzzsprout, something like that. But I know a few of those have been used quite a bit for just another branded asset that can take over search results for a brand search and that kind of stuff. So I know it can be beneficial. I've not done a lot of testing with this in several years, but certainly now because of AI making it so much easier to come up to create audio files, it's worth testing again. Um, I'm not going to volunteer to test because I don't have a lot of bandwidth right now. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with my various responsibilities currently, so I don't have a lot of time to do new testing right now. But eventually I will. And matter of fact, we in about 2 weeks I should have a little bit of time freed up where I might even start messing with that a little bit. So I'll let you know, Zypha, when I have some more details to share. But it's definitely worth testing. Some of the things that you can do is create content around specific, service keywords or products or services that the company would provide, right? And remember, a lot of these AI apps now, you can literally go find somebody else's content, whether it's a web page, an article, an interview, a YouTube video, anything like that, and submit them to some of these apps that would create an AI voice podcast from that content. And so you could find content out there that's specific to the products or services that a particular business provides, and then have audio content created around that then you upload as a podcast that's optimized for keyword plus location modifier, etc. And those can end up ranking too, right? And then use those as backlink opportunities to place a link back to your client's assets, your money site, GBP, etc. And also just to drive traffic. In other words, if somebody lands on a podcast and they listen to it, um, you want to make sure that the brand name is in the SEO titles of those and all of that too. So it creates the association between the brand and those products and services and the location. And then it can also result in, somebody sees a podcast ranked for a search query, and then they go click on that link and they see the company name. That might trigger a brand searching click signal, right? Which is a fantastic signal. So, yeah, definitely. I think podcast audio files and optimizing audio files for local SEO purposes is a good something worth testing. I'm quite sure it would be beneficial, although, like I said, it's been a couple of years since I've done any specific testing with that. I think it would be easier now, is my point, and I think it would be effective.